Sagittarius, happy November 2017. This is Dark Dove Tarot. Hope you're doing fantastic. Again, this is for Sagittarius. Happy almost birthday. I'm going to shuffle the cards. As you know, I pre-shuffle. I don't like to shuffle too much on camera because that's valuable time. We could be discussing other things. Again, I hope you're doing wonderful coming into November towards the end of this year. This is a read for anybody who's single, looking for love, anybody who is looking to reconcile. Again, my general focus is on love and mainly single. So anybody who is, you know, looking and interested. All right. I also add in reconciliation as well, as much as possible. If I notice anything huge, like for finances or work, I'll definitely bring that up as well. But again, my main focus is on love and any, you know, future possibilities, etc. This is a general read, so always check your sun, moon, and rising. As sun months, those may resonate with you more. I hope this resonates with the majority of you. I'm doing this face down because I asked you guys about it last month. I asked every sign, and every single comment I got was to do it face down. So I guess the majority of you like the element of surprise, and as well as I do. If you don't, let me know, but the people who spoke up said that they like the cards face down. Again, any comments you have, I love to hear from people. Any likes, subscribes. If you want a private reading, the information is all in the description. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle for a theme of the month card as well. All right, and then we'll get started for Sagittarius, November 2017. And that one just fell out, so we use that one. And you have the 10 of Wands. All right, so Sagittarius, you're definitely showing up for your theme, because obviously Wands are fire sign, and you are a fire sign, Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. So it's good to see that you're present during your theme. The 10 of Wands is a very good card because this is about taking on responsibilities and burdens, but head on. And not burdens like bad burdens. This is about, you know, making things happen and being victorious. This is almost towards the end of the entire suit of tarot, which is like completing a cycle. And so the 10 of Wands can be very positive. Again, it's definitely fire energy. So Sag, it's good to see that you're showing up for the theme of your month. This is about completing things, getting things done. So if you're single, you may be completing into, you know, completing a cycle of being single, going into a relationship, but we'll see what the cards have to say. This could also be that, you know, you're just taking action and, you know, really taking responsibility for your dating life, changing things that aren't working for you, etc. If you're looking to reconcile, you know, same thing, you're definitely being responsible for your half of the relationship, or, you know, what you may need to change or what you've put into the person you're possibly looking to reconcile with. All right, so let's get started. The first card you have is always your current position coming into the month, and you have the 7 of Wands. So again, you're showing up here, Sagittarius, which is very good. This means you're present in the moment. I mean, look at this, is present in the moment, right? And now coming into the month, you have the 7 of Wands, which again, fire energy. So right there with you, Sag. This is about strategies. This is about priorities. So if you're looking to date, this is you getting your priorities in order. This is you coming into November, knowing what you want and knowing what type of person you want to date. Feels like there's been, like, you know, some chaotic dating opportunities, experiences. And this is you really coming in saying, okay, what do I want? What am I trying to build? Am I trying to build a foundation? Am I looking just to date? And some of you are feeling a little defensive too, almost like, you know, not in a bad way. It's hard to explain. The defense is almost like, I'm sick of the BS, right? I'm not gonna put myself through anything that I don't deserve. And you're coming into the month kind of like, I don't have to explain myself to anybody. I don't have to tell anybody why I feel the way I feel, why I wouldn't want to date them. So I feel like some of you maybe have met some people and it hasn't gone the way you wanted, or maybe you thought it would, and they're kind of like, well, why don't you want to date me? And this is you, Sag, being like, you know, I'm looking for what I want and I'm not going to settle. And it's not that you're telling people, oh, I'm settling if I'm with you, but you're the opposite, where you're saying, I'm not going to be with somebody just to say I have something, right? And you're not going to do that to yourself. This is you saying, it's about me. For once, this is about me. For once, this isn't about people pleasing. This isn't about dating people and trying not to hurt their feelings. This is about dating people, getting to know them, and if it's not a right fit for me, doing something about it. If you're looking to reconcile, this is strategy, but trying to figure out, you know, how this X fits in your life. So I don't feel like you're in contact, but if you are in contact, or if you are planning on making contact, or if, you know, you think they're going to make contact, you're almost on the defense. Like, you're kind of like, well, if you come back, we have some stuff to talk about. Or if we're going to get back together, you know, we have some things to talk about. Almost like a blame. Like, you're feeling kind of like, you put all the blame on me and I'm defending myself because I have not been the only person here. There were two of us in the relationship, but you're also strategizing. So you're kind of coming into the month saying, if we got back together, what would we need to do to change things so we don't end up in the same situation? So you're being very forthcoming on what you did, how your behaviors were, but also knowing that you're not taking the blame on whatever this is. And nothing pops out like, oh, somebody cheated, and I'm sure that is the case for some people. But right now, it's almost like you're past that moment. You're in the moment of, if we were to get back together, do I want to get back together? If they want to get back together, you're past the point of playing the blame game, and you're not going to allow that to happen to you either. So maybe any contact you've had with this person, they've been negative or pointing the finger, and now you're going, nope, I'm not the only one to blame here. We were both in this relationship and we both have some things to work on. The next card you have is any internal factors that help or hinder coming into the month, and you have the moon. All right, so right off the bat, the moon is about illusions, but also dreaming, can be fear. So I always describe the moon as, okay, so if you're single, the reason that you're coming in kind of like, you know, I've got to figure out what I want before, and you may have met one or two people too that you're kind of like, do we sync? Are our priorities in balance? And here the moon is saying you're not sure whether you've met people or whether you're starting to meet people or whether you're just starting to date. You're feeling very unclear, like you're worried that somebody's going to pull the wool over your eyes, because the moon is kind of the situation where you could be out in the dark somewhere and you see this sliver of moon, right? And an object moves into it, or you happen to see this object in that sliver of moonlight, and you don't know whether it's a dragon or whether it's like, you know, a dog. And so I know that sounds weird, but that's the best way to explain. You're not sure if you're seeing what you're seeing. So if you've met a few people and you're really thinking, hey, these people have possibilities, but now I've got to get my priorities in order, like if we were to move into something a little more, you know, if we were deciding to commit to each other, there's certain things that you want to kind of balance out. And the moon is saying that you're missing something. Like you're feeling like maybe you don't know something about that person or the few people. Again, if you're dating a couple people or dating, just online dating period, and haven't really met anybody to narrow it down to, this is you saying, I'm not sure that I'm getting the clear picture on anybody. So you're kind of feeling like you don't want to be made a fool, but at the same time, you're kind of confident, like, I'd be able to smell the BS from a mile away. So you're very back and forth coming into the month on, I know what I want, and I think I know how to find it, and I think I know when people are telling me the truth or being genuine, but what if they're really not? What if I'm just not clear on this dating game? But this is also very dreamy too. This is you having hopes and expectations of meeting somebody that could be possibly a really good partner for you. If you're looking to reconcile, it's very, very clear that somebody is playing on an illusion here, that your ex is maybe feeding you a line, or it's almost like if you've been in contact with them, you're like, nope, something's missing here. I'm not getting the full story. I'm not getting the full picture. Or, you know, it could be that you feel like they're dreaming. They might be coming back going, oh, I miss you, I love you. And you're like, whoa, like we have some things to work out before we get back into that schmoozing. But I also feel like you're, like I said, most of you aren't in contact with them because this kind of feels like you're like, I'm not really sure. Not really sure what they're up to. I don't really think that they know what I'm up to. I care about them, but this is just a lot of uncertainty coming in if you're looking to reconcile. The next card I read for both reconciliation and anybody who's single, this is your distant past, and you have the Two of Swords. And this is the distant past, you know, could be years, could be 10 years, it could be childhood. The Two of Swords comes down to, at some point you had to make a decision. You had to make choices. And the choices you made, you're either looking back on them this month. Part of the reason we bring the distant past up is because there are certain things that you want to remember and bring from past relationships that are positive. So kind of harness that, right? And then other times there's certain things you need to let go of, but you'll never forget them. And that keeps you from, you know, resorting back to those same behaviors. Not all the time, but, you know, it's good to remember things you don't want so you know what to avoid. And the Two is saying that at some point you had choices. You made decisions. And some of you were either going back going, man, you know, I don't know if I made the right choice on this as far as a partner, or maybe you're thinking about somebody that you'd like to maybe, you know, check up on and see how they're doing. You know, maybe this is somebody that you cared about a lot and you made a decision and it didn't go well. Some of you also, you know, have dated and had relationships and it's become a stalemate on a regular basis. And so some of you are kind of like, okay, I don't want that, you know, I think things are going well, or we start dating or whatever. And it's almost like a lot of you are feeling like, I get to a point where I'm dating, right? And I'm satisfied and I'm happy. And then it never, like, we don't get over that bump. Like, we don't go any further, or it's just dating, or it's just, you know, a friendship, or it becomes, you know, stagnant. There's some sort of stalemate here that you're kind of trying to avoid for whatever's coming into your future. And I think, you know, before you made decisions that maybe were based on, it was almost like a duality, like, you know, you felt like you were one person, and then you felt like you were another person, like you couldn't figure out who you were. And now you're kind of coming into your own, you know, going, okay, now I know what I want. Now I know, you know, it's like almost like you were like, do I want to get serious? Do I not want to get serious? Do I want to get married? Do I not want to get married? Do I want, you know, kids? Do I not want to have kids? And there are all these choices, and you kind of feel like you never quite made the right one. Or that it just never worked out. And really, again, like, I get that feeling. It's just like, you're like, gosh, I dated good people and I met decent people and I thought we were really going somewhere, and it fizzled out. Nothing happened. And your like mindset is that you're not going to do that, but you're also being very cautious about it. And the next card you have is your recent past. So the past few weeks, past month or two, and you have the Six of Wands. So somewhere here, if you're single, you've had some sort of victory. So now I'm thinking more of you have met one or two people, and you're kind of feeling victorious in the dating life. Again, you're showing up like crazy all over because, you know, again, another fire sign, another fire card. The Six of Wands is about achieving something. Now, this could be achieving something in life. I mean, your greatest achievement right now, Sagittarius, being single, could be that you're figuring out that you actually want to meet somebody. For a lot of you, you've wanted to be single, or you haven't wanted to deal with the dating, and your greatest achievement now could be realizing, hey, I'm freaking awesome, and I'm a good catch, and there's got to be somebody awesome out there for me. So, you know, it's almost like, I know that sounds weird, but it's almost like, and because you're showing up here in positive cards, this is kind of like saying that you're finally showing up in your own life, in your own headspace. Like, you're finally giving yourself the credit where credit is due. And so the past few weeks or past month or two, you're kind of saying, hey, I got my stuff together. I may not be perfect. My finances may not be perfect. I may not have the best credit. But I'm a pretty good catch. Like, I've got stuff to offer here, and I'm a pretty good person. And if you're single, you're bringing that to the table. So you're kind of feeling like, hey, I can finally take the next step. And maybe some of the reasons you've had so many choices or stalemates is because you're always working on the next big thing. You're always working on a career. You need to help with money, or you know, you're fixing your credit or you wanted to buy your own place. And now it's like you're at that point where you're kind of like, okay, some sort of success, maybe in your finances, maybe in your job, maybe in, you know, family just in general. Maybe, you know, there was turmoil, or maybe you had exes or things to work out and that kind of stuff, parent time and whatnot. And now you're kind of like, okay, things are rolling in the direction to where I could date and be pretty successful without having too much crap get mixed up in the middle. If you're looking to reconcile, this is saying that one of you is being very prideful. Either you're being very prideful or they're being very prideful. So again, I don't feel like there's been contact made, but if there has been, it hasn't been the most positive. And if there hasn't been, one of you or both of you is saying, it was your fault. You got to contact me. And literally that's what this card is saying. The past few weeks, maybe you've been thinking about them, they've been thinking about you. Maybe you haven't thought about them in a while. It could be somebody that you haven't dated in a while, but you still had the connection. Or it could be somebody you broke up with 2 or 3 weeks ago, and you don't want to call them and they don't want to call you. There's some sort of stubbornness. One of you is going, you know, like, I've been hurt and my pride's been hurt and I'm not going to make the move. And, you know, it could be both of you. Somebody will have to make the next move if you're planning on getting together. And I know I'm going to get emails and messages and people are going to be like, well, it was all their fault, or, you know, whatever. But again, you're coming in defense mode, but you're also trying to get your priorities straight, which means work on yourself and get past, you know, it looks like you're coming into the month getting past a lot of the drama of it. So if you guys can just come together and have a conversation, you might find out it doesn't have to be that major. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few months into the end of the year, goodness, Sagittarius, you were on fire. Like literally you were all over your read. You've got another wand here that represents you. This is the 8 of Wands, and you're kind of going, you know, in like order. Well, not order in the spread, but you've got 6, 7, 8. We're just looking for 9, and then we hit 10. So you've got the 8 of Wands here, and the 8 of Wands is quick movement. So immediately this tells me if you're single that you're going to meet somebody and it's going to be quick. Like it's going to be like right out of the gate. You've got your priorities straight. It could be somebody that you're not quite sure on, so you're going to spend a little more time getting to know because and then all of a sudden it turns from kind of an illusional fear to dreaming. And you're going to feel like the choices aren't that hard because you've overcome stuff already. It's almost like you've overcome your own demons. You've overcome things that you needed to work on personally, or that you needed to take care of financially, or that you needed to take care of career-wise. Whatever it is, you're coming in going, hey, I've got this. I'm finally like figuring stuff out. I'm figuring out what works for me and that's what it comes down to, right? Sagittarius, if it doesn't work for you, it could work for 300 people. That job could work for 300 people. That lifestyle could work for 300 people. But it may not work for you, and that's okay. Because it may not work for 500 people. You just don't know, and you haven't met them yet. But either you're going to meet them, you've met a few, but you're still kind of that cautious. But this is saying, hey, okay, like over the next month or two, it's going to be quick. There's going to be some sort of force, but it's going to be like universal driven. It's going to be like movement in the right direction, or movement into, you know, some sort of relationship. Again, this 10 being your theme is saying you don't want to date that long. You don't want to be on dating sites. You don't want to be in meetup groups. So somewhere maybe you meet them through friend. Maybe you've already met them. Maybe it is a friend. Maybe it's somebody that you remember that you're like, hey, you know, I really liked them, and maybe I made a bad choice. So if you're single, it's like, boom, it's going to hit fast. And my mom used to always say to me, and she wasn't right about everything, but she wasn't wrong about everything, right? We learned that about our parents, that, you know, we love them, but they did the best they could too. They didn't have all the answers. We don't have all the answers. But one thing she said to me all the time was, when the universe or God or whoever you believe in wants something to happen, and it's supposed to happen, it moves fast. And everything, my change of careers and, you know, growing with a company I've been with for years and years, I mean, it came quick. It was like, out of nowhere. I mean, a lot of things in my life that were meant to be or that have been positive have moved. It's been forced upon me, like but not forced in a negative way. You know, moving careers wasn't something that I was like, oh, this sucks. It was like, wow, this, you know, let's do it. And I think that's how it's going to be for this person you meet. It's going to kind of just fit like a glove, and the only way to move is forward, and it's going to move pretty fast. If you're looking to reconcile, if you guys do make contact and you communicate, I think it'll be quick as well. I think, but here's the difference between that and anybody who's single. If you're looking to reconcile, you can't force it. So it has to come naturally. Yes, one of you is going to have to pick up the phone and get over it. And I know I'm going to get messages from people saying, you don't understand, they were horrible and they cheated and whatever. Well, if you're looking to reconcile and you're watching this for reconciliation, then you may have to, you know, like suck in your pride and make it happen as well. Because, I mean, that's what happens sometimes. We have to do things we don't want to do to get the outcome we want. So if that's what you really want, you might just have to say, hey, I'm going to have to be the one to make the first move. Or they might surprise the heck out of you. Let's see what else comes. And they may make the first move. But you can't force it either. If you guys get together and it works and you can communicate and things feel comfortable, then good. Go for it. But if they don't, then I would, you know, then it may be time to cut it off. Because that might be your quick action. Is, I'm done, I'm not doing this anymore, we've been through this, we're obviously not meant to be together, I can't do this, I love you, we had a great connection, but it's not healthy for me. The next card you have is your immediate future, so over the next few weeks, and throughout the month of November, and you have the Eight of Cups. So somewhere here, I'm thinking for some reason, eights are going to be a substantial number for you. So either the 8th of November, 8 days, you know, 8 weeks, because usually when you have your future and your, you know, immediate future and your distant future same number, I generally tend to, you know, think there's some sort of significance in that number. All right, so here you have water signs showing up, which is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, because you have cup energy there. But I still, like, you're on fire because your energy's all over the place here. So you have the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups is about not moving. So these are very opposite, which is funny. This is quick moving, and this is kind of hanging out. It's kind of stagnant. So if you're single, you may have met somebody, or you're going to meet somebody this month, and you're like, yes, like success. Let's do this. This is awesome. We get along. But you're going to feel like it's not moving fast enough for you. Be patient, be patient, be patient. Don't move it. Don't force it. Don't make it happen. Because it's very funny. This is you, you know, throughout November. So either you've met somebody, you're meeting a few people, or you're going to meet somebody and you're going to be like, yeah, I really like them. But you got to think, this moon, they're feeling that too. They're wondering, is he or she, you know, who or what they say they are. So you're going to have to take November in strides and not try and force it. But then once you do this and you have this patience and you know, wait a little bit, then boom, that's going to come into play. It's going to happen. Things are just going to kind of roll with the punches, and the universe is going to, like, you know, move you into it. If you're looking to reconcile, the Eight of Cups is saying it's not moving for you either, because maybe if you make contact or they make contact, you guys are hoping it's going to be like, yes, I love you. Yes, I love you too. But one of you is on the defense still. One of you is still being like prideful. Like, I don't want to say sorry. I did nothing wrong. If you can't get over that, then this is dissatisfaction. And then you'll cut this off. So if you can get over that, and again, I'm not saying, Sag, it's your fault. I'm just saying, you know, it takes two to tango, so everybody has some sort of responsibility in the relationship regardless of what goes on. If they cheated and they were a horrible person, why'd you stay with them? And not that it's just, I get, people will tell me, well, it was their fault, or they did this and I did nothing. But we all know nobody wants to take the blame, and nobody wants to feel like there's any reason that they could be at all responsible for a failure with somebody they love. And I get that. I don't want to. I don't want to think that I've done something to jeopardize anything. But at the end of the day, if I looked back at every relationship I've ever had, I could probably take some sort of responsibility in some of it, although I did nothing wrong. See what I did there? Haha. I can be funny. All right, the next card you have is going to be your future external factors. And you have the Sun. So this is over the next few weeks. It could be the beginning of November. It could be the middle of November. It could be the end of November. It could happen one day out of the month. It could happen 10 days out of the month. The Sun is one of my favorite cards. I say that. And anytime I pull the Sun card, we could stop the reading right here because you want to sit here and bask in the sun. If you're single, this is about hope awareness. This is about self-awareness and hope. The biggest thing with the Sun is that you're seeing far into the future. So you're negating any illusions or any you're dissipating the clouds or anything that could be coming over what you're looking for, or this person or these people that you've met that you think could be possible gain for you, and you're on fire. And which is, you know, obviously, like I've said 10 times this reading so far, you're a fire sign, so that's positive. But the Sun again is lighting your way. So it's lighting your way to this action. So it's letting you see this person clearly, or these people, although I think it's definitely narrowing down to one person. And the Sun is saying, look, there's hope here. So see it for what it is. Don't let this moon make you think something's there that's not. Don't have a paranoid sense of, you know, oh, I've been screwed before, or this is too good to be true. You know, it's like you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, oh, I really like this person, but what's wrong? Don't do that, because the Sun is saying somewhere in November, you're going to see clearly. You're going to be like, oh, now I see. Oh, okay, they do. Like, they've been telling me. They're being completely honest with me. There's some real hope here. But you're also being self-aware that some of the worry, or some of the you know, disconcern of like, hey, there, you know, something's going on, is inside you because of things you've been through, because of things that you've seen, because of how you've been treated before. Some of the reason you're in disbelief of this person actually being for real and worrying about this is because of past experiences. But something in November, like, they may even just look at you and be like, look, I'm being straight up with you. You want to look at my Facebook, you want to look at my phone, you want to come to my apartment, you would talk to my mom. It's going to be like very clear all of a sudden. If you're looking to reconcile, this is also hope, but this is self-aware. So like I've said, it's you being aware of responsibility you played in the relationship, them being aware of it, and also being able to see in the future. If you think that there is something really still here and there's a connection, which most of you probably wouldn't be watching if you didn't think that, unless you're cross-watching, and then you can pretty much assume that they probably do have feelings for you still. The Sun is saying, look, there's still hope here. There's an inspiration here. But as long as you guys communicate, and as long as you can see it, if you look into the future and you could see yourself with that person and being happy and no arguments and no finger pointing, no blame game, then it could be the real deal. Fights happen. People break up. It doesn't mean it's not possible to get back together. Yes, there are severities. If there was cheating, or if there was infidelity, or if there was abuse, those boundaries and trust have been broken. And sometimes it's not possible to come back from that. And the next card you have is internal. So over the next few weeks, throughout November, anything, and that's death, by the way, and not a physical death. And this is internal, which I love this position being internal. This could happen in the beginning of November, the middle, the end. You could feel it once throughout the month. You could feel it the whole month. And this is rebirth. This is change. This is transformation. So if you're single, your life is going to change. This completion is going to happen. For a majority of you, I think it's going to be the completion of being single. I think it's going to be moving on. You're going to be like, come on, let's move faster. And then here you're going to be like, whoa, we're moving really fast. It's very interesting how these are right next to each other. But your distant future says, look, you will be moving in that direction. And death is a rebirth. It's a rebirth of your ability to have a healthy relationship. It's a rebirth of your ability to sustain a happy relationship and healthy relationship. But it's also a transformation or a change from within yourself. Sag, this month you're going to be working on changing a lot. And it may have something to do with your upcoming birthday. You may be turning 40 and going, hey, I'm turning 40. And by 40, I thought I'd have a house, or I thought I'd have this, or I thought I'd be doing that. And you might decide, like, hey, there are some big changes that need to come. And if you're single, those changes will be egged on by somebody who may be going through exactly what you're going through, or thinking exactly what you're thinking, or wanting the same things you're going through. If you're looking to reconcile, this is either a rebirth of your relationship, if you guys can get over, you know, the hump of what the issue has been, or this is a whole different change and transformation, and you decide, look, I don't want that person. I don't want that relationship. I don't want anything to do with them. With that, though, comes the responsibility of ending it. Comes the responsibility of quick action, force, and ending it, and completing that cycle. So really, Sag, I mean, it's like a 50-50 here. If you want to get back together with that person, I think you can do it with work. If you don't want to get back together with that person, then you're going to make some major changes. The next two cards you have are any hopes and fears for the outcome of the month of November. And you have the Five of Wands. Gosh, Sag, you are all over this read. You are present and in the moment in November. Because, I mean, my gosh, you have 5, 6, 7, 8. The only thing we're missing is 9. And then you go to 10. All right. I thought it was going to be 10, but I had a feeling it probably wasn't. And then your outcome is the Magician. All right, so for your feelings, hopes, and fears, this is a 5 of Wands. This is chaos. This is priority. So here, you're coming into the month with priorities, but here you're fearing like, I still have to get my priorities in order. Maybe this person that you're going to meet, or this person that you really want to like sustain a good relationship with, is somebody that you're kind of like, wow, I mean, I'm here on my priority list, and they're here, like they're off the charts. And so you're kind of like, whoa, I have some big, you know, shoes to fill. I have some things to, you know, somebody to look up to. And it's also a healthy competition. It could be more, you know, maybe you guys have both decided you want to get in shape, and it's going to become like a fun, you know, hey, let's take up mountain climbing, or let's, you know, go to the gym, or let's start doing a, you know, a marathon or something like that. But it's also going to feel a little chaotic, because I think you're going to be moving fast. In the beginning, you're going to feel like, hey, it's not moving as fast as I'd want, and I thought we really liked each other. I know I like you. I'm pretty sure you like me, but it's kind of slow. And here you're going to feel like it's chaos. Like everything's going to hit you all at once. Like, hey, let's do this, and we really like each other, and this is wonderful, and we're on the same page. So you get my drift. I mean, you have a lot of like, this is kind of chaos, but not in a bad way. You're just trying to figure things out. And then you're like, you're going to move into a major direction. So that's good. If you're looking to reconcile, this is chaos. If you guys get back together and you don't figure out what's going on, it's going to be chaos. If you can figure it out and get everything right, get your priorities in straight, you have a lot of priority cards. Like this and this, the definitions are priorities. So this right here is saying you need to get yourself in order and then contact them. Or if they contact you, you need to make sure they have their stuff in order. Because if you guys are coming together to make this happen, then it's going to be good. And you want to make sure you're not competing with each other either. You don't want to get into the drama of, oh my gosh, he's dating, so now I'm going to start dating. Or she's dating, now I'm going to start dating. If you still like that person, hang loose. It sucks, and it might be hard to watch them date or do whatever. But in the end, if they like you, then the dating won't last. Your outcome for the month is the Magician, which is an awesome card. If you're single, this means you can manifest anything you want. This means that, I mean, he's, you know, turning water into wine or whatever, or water into grape juice. This is about ability. This is about connecting. This is about having control. So this chaos that maybe, Sagittarius, you were used to feeling when something good was coming into your life, right? If something good was coming into your life and you're used to self-sabotaging or self-doubting or having these illusions or some sort of paranoia that you weren't good enough or would never last, and this is you saying, nope, I'm in complete control. If I want this to work out and they want it to work out, I don't have to allow this behavior. I don't have to allow it to become chaos. And the Magician is saying, you have the ability to manifest what you want. You will connect with your partner. You will connect with the universe. And it's going to be very positive. This is you having the ability to do whatever you want. And that's beautiful, Sagittarius. If you're looking to reconcile, it's very similar. You control the situation. If you want chaos and drama, you're going to get chaos and drama. If you can come in with a steady head, be, you know, in control of your thoughts, be versatile, and even if you're pissed as hell at them, be versatile in the fact that you can acknowledge that and still have a grown-up conversation and figure out what you want. This is both singles and anybody looking to reconcile, having the ability to control the situation, not let it be chaotic, and get what you want, and move forward and start new beginnings and have amazing things. Again, it's really up to you. I'm going to pull 2 clarifiers really quick. But you know what's amazing, Sagittarius, is I don't think I've seen this much energy for a single sign, at least this month, and probably not in the past month or 2, that has come out where they are literally present on every level. I mean, you're present in your distant future, you're present in your past, you're present in your immediate future, you're present in your theme of the month, you're present in how you're coming into the month. I mean, that's fantastic. What it says is you have the ability to be on top of your game in whatever you want to do. All right, so clarifying your outcome is Temperance, and clarifying your distant future is the Page of Swords. So both of these are beautiful. Temperance is saying patience. So again, like I said, this month and the immediate future, this month maybe going into December, you're going to be feeling like, hey, I really like you. I've met some really cool people. When are we going to move in the right direction? And Temperance is saying patience. This is moderation, balance, and control. Everything in moderation, everything balanced. So take it easy and allow nature to take its course. Allow the universe to move things. When you're supposed to move fast, you will move fast. Trust me. You will blink and it will move. You know, it'll move fast, 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 fast. So have the patience. If you're looking to reconcile, same thing. Have patience with them. Have patience with yourself. If you're not ready to actually have a conversation with them because you still feel that bubble of anger, don't. If they're not ready to have a conversation with you, don't force it. Let it come naturally. Let it happen. I know that some of you really want to be with this person, especially here in the U.S., the holidays. But if you force it, the end result is not going to be a healthy one. And then clarifying your distant future, you have the Page of Swords, and I love the Page of Swords. And I'll tell you why. Because the Page of Swords is about writing your own story. It's about writing your own book. So if you are single, that is the ability you are going to have if you have the patience and you maintain the control and don't allow it to get into chaos mode. Don't let those, feelings of anxiety, depression, etc. come in. The Page of Swords is saying, look, you are seeking something amazing. You are learning about yourself because you are so present in this reading. You are learning about Sagittarius, what they have to offer. For the first time, it feels like you believe in what you are capable of, what you're capable of offering, what type of relationship you can be in, what type of partner you are to another person. And now you just want to love somebody. And this is saying, write your love story, but learn from your mistakes. Embrace the mistakes, embrace the cracks in who you are, embrace the imperfections, because that's only going to make you better. And in the end, you're going to see things a lot more clear if you understand that they're not going to be perfect, you're not going to be perfect, but together you can write a love story. If you're looking to reconcile, you're still going to be seeking out some sort of truth. There's something here that you feel like you're not being told the truth on. You came in with the moon with this, and if you're looking to reconcile, there's something here that you almost are like, okay, if you want to get back together, this is what I need to see. This is what I've got it. Like, maybe there was money issues that were not being, somebody wasn't being honest. And this is you saying, okay, if we do this, like, we are going to communicate this. We're going to put it all down on paper, and maybe not literally, but we're spelling everything out from A to Z. And if you want to make it work, you can. You may even seek counsel. But this is saying, if I can see everything clear, if everything is clear, black and white, and there's no gray areas, and there's no illusions, no stories, then we can make it happen. But if not, move on to the next chapter and write your own book. All right, Sag, I hope you have a great November. I will talk to you later.